Good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming. And the Secretary General will start with a short opening statement, and then, of course, as usual, we'll be happy to take your questions. Secretary General.
Thank you, and good afternoon. It's a month since I saw you, and the last few weeks have been particularly tough in Afghanistan. I would like to express my deepest sympathy to the families and loved ones of our troops who were killed or wounded in the recent violence. These brave men were in Afghanistan to build a safer future, and any attack on our troops is an attack on the future of Afghanistan. We condemn these crimes in the strongest possible terms, and together with the Afghan authorities, we are tightening the measures we take to prevent them. I spoke to President Karzai last week. I encouraged him to take all necessary steps to ensure violence comes to an end and to protect ISAF personnel from attacks, and he gave me reassurances in this regard. It is important to remember, over the past 2 weeks, thousands of Afghan security personnel have gone into action at considerable risk to themselves to prevent attacks on ISAF bases. Across the country, Afghan soldiers have risked and sacrificed their lives to protect their ISAF partners. So such attacks are cause for grave concern, but they do not define the relationship between ISAF and the Afghan forces. And they do not change our determination to succeed, because we all want a safer future for Afghanistan so that we can all be safer in our streets and in our homes. And we all know that the only way to achieve it is to work together. At our Chicago summit in May, together with our ISAF partners, we will map out the next phase of the transition to full Afghan security responsibility between now and the end of 2014. And as I told President Karzai during our call, we intend to make clear our enduring commitment to Afghanistan beyond 2014. Last week, the North Atlantic Council traveled to Washington to prepare for the summit, which is less than 12 weeks away. We discussed the transformation of our alliance, how to make sure we have the necessary capabilities for the challenges we face in the 21st century. Nous avons déjà une base solide, le concept stratégique que nous avons adopté au sommet de Lisbonne en 2010 et qui exprime la vision de l'Alliance pour la prochaine décennie. Nous avons bien progressé sur certains paquets de capacités critiques agréés à Lisbonne, comme le système allié de surveillance terrestre et la défense antimissile. Nous continuons à tirer les enseignements de nos opérations, comme celle menée récemment en Libye, et nous avons un projet pour préserver et développer nos capacités et pour combler les insuffisances qui subsistent. Parce que notre alliance ne sera pas jugée sur ce qu'il dit, mais sur ce qu'elle fait. Nous devons être réalistes. Nous sommes face à un paysage économique et à un paysage sécuritaire en pleine mutation. Et c'est pourquoi nous avons décidé qu'à Chicago, il nous faudra insuffler un nouvel état d'esprit la défense intelligente, smart defense. Smart defense is about lining up national requirements and NATO's requirements. It's about setting clear priorities, specializing in a coordinated and deliberate way, by design, not by default, and cooperating between allies and with the European Union so that every effort counts and nothing is wasted. I expect that in Chicago we will make smart defense the new way we do business and apply it to 3 strands of work: immediate projects, longer-term projects, and strategic projects. First, an initial package of more than 20 multinational projects that will address critical capability shortfalls. We already have lead nations assigned to these projects, and we have confirmed participants. Second, we will look at a number of longer-term multinational projects that are already in the pipeline: missile defense, alliance ground surveillance, and air policing. Air policing in the Baltic states is a model for alliance solidarity and a practical example of smart defense. And third, we will target a number of strategic projects for 2020 and beyond. As our operation in Libya showed, we still face some specific capability gaps, such as air-to-air refueling and joint intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And we know that we will need stronger cooperation across the Atlantic and in Europe to fill them. So, in Chicago, I will look for a commitment to make sure that this is what we deliver. Smart defense is about building capabilities together. But we also need to be able to operate them together. That is why I have launched the Connected Forces Initiative. It puts a premium on training and education, exercises, and better use of technology. Our operations have given a boost to NATO's transformation, and we must make sure we keep the lessons we have learned, even when those operations end. So we get where we need to be at the end of this decade and beyond, because Chicago will mark an important chapter in this journey of transformation, but it will not be the end of the story. Finally, I would like to comment on the good news from the Western Balkans. I welcome the agreement between Belgrade and Pristina on Kosovo's representation in regional meetings. This is a step forward, and it shows that the way forward is through dialogue. I also welcome the European Union's decision to award Serbia candidate status. This is a sign of progress and a driver for progress. It is a result of reforms and a driver of more important reforms, which can only bring benefits to Serbia and to the whole region. And ultimately, I would like to see the whole of the Western Balkans achieve their goal of integration into our Euro-Atlantic family. And with that, I'm prepared to take your questions.